Television shows are able to have a great influence on their viewers. They can persuade an audience to be interested in the same things the characters are, or can allow viewers to live vicariously through characters' actions in the show without actually prompting viewers to take part in them. This issue is explored in the television show Breaking Bad. As the casual viewer experiences Walter White's transformation from insignificant chemistry teacher to irreplaceable meth mogul, they can experience transformation, drugs, and deception without actually having to take part. Breaking Bad is a television show that follows the life of high school chemistry teacher Walter White. After a surprising cancer diagnosis, Walt is pulled into the meth cooking business in order to pay for his treatment and hide the news from his family. Viewers of the show are able to experience transformation, drugs, and deception with Walt harmlessly from their own couch. How is a television show able to act as an outlet through which viewers can virtually partake in these events? In this article by Dr. Mark A. Lewis, he addresses the relationship between Walter's experiences as a recent cancer patient and the experiences of patients he has seen. Lewis is able to confirm that the struggles Walt experiences with money, quality of life, and personal identity are real struggles that are familiar to real cancer patients, and all viewers, not just cancer patients, are able to sympathize with Walt's struggles as they watch the show and are drawn in by their similarities. Alternately, Jürgen Menebo and Stephen Egermont direct a study in order to prove the stereotyping of actual drug use by television show viewers. They conclude that the more television shows about drugs adults watch, the more likely they are to stereotype adolescents as drug users. This is an example of how media can negatively influence a viewer. Although adults that watch shows like Breaking Bad are mentally affected by the drug content, they are still not prompted to do drugs, nor other dangerous acts seen in the show. Finally, Gregory C. Ellison II explores the direct impact of media on its viewers. He directs a study where he concludes that for some, the lines between fantasy and reality are blurred. Ellison also concludes that a prolonged exposure to violent media is directly related to heightened aggression. This implies that viewers are not necessarily able to simply watch a controversial television show without reaping some negative effects, and virtually partaking in events is not enough. If they see violence, or, in Breaking Bad's case, drugs, on television, they're likely to experiment in real life. The issue of whether or not a television show is able to act as an outlet through which viewers can virtually partake in these events without being inspired to actually take part is debated. While Lewis believes that viewers are simply able to identify with Walt's struggles and calmly watch the show, Menebo, Egermont, and Ellison are more likely to counter-argue that viewers might be inspired by the bad acts of the show.
Created using Powtoon.